Welcome back, ladies and gents, to the B stream here for WCS Season 2 Finals. My name is Kyle Laris alongside Todd, and we are now waiting for our next match, which will determine, who we have actually eliminated from the entire tournament already. Will it be Welmu or will it be Rain?
Hard to say. I have to say Rain probably the favorite here again, but Welmu, he had a nice showing versus MC. I feel like Welmu could actually surprise Rain the same way he did MC if Rain didn't see those games. And then if this time he does something new in another game, he could take that as well. So Rain is going to have to be very careful. Rain is the defender. He's the solid player who will play very defensively most of the time. And I feel like as much as it's a strength, it can be a big weakness as well, especially in Protoss versus Protoss. This is the matchup where you want to be aggressive.
Could you imagine that, though, if for some reason here, Welmu is able to step up to the mark and defeat Rain, and Rain is the first person out of the tournament? I don't see how that could actually.
I really like Welmu, but Rain is like a hero for me.
Yeah, he was in the break. He was pretty happy that he was casting Rain.
I think there is not any players I would ever ask for a picture with.
No?
Except Rain.
Except Rain? Really? You can ask him tomorrow?
Such a fun boy, man.
You're
if
like,
he wins.
If he wins, if he loses, throw him to the gutter. No, no picture for you. Is that how it's going to work? All right.
Maybe.
Well, we are now just waiting. Again, we can't really do anything until Welmu and Rain are good to go. A-Stream is apparently getting underway with MC versus Jaedong. And again, I'm very surprised that Jaedong was able to take the 2-0 over Rain.
The boss toss versus the Dong.
The boss toss. It's a big match, man. Hopefully you're watching both streams, as we have a lot of cool games on the way for you today. We have 8 series on this stream and 8 series on the other stream as well, all day long. So a ton of StarCraft. And it's 3 o'clock here. So we have plenty more hours worth of cool StarCraft action. And now we are still just waiting for Welmu versus Rain. Now, I'm curious as to actually, if Welmu goes into this series and, as you said, like kind of surprises Rain a little bit, do you think that Rain's normal style, because he used to be the PvP master, I would say, of Wings of Liberty. If you wanted to look at PvP into the later stages of the game, you would go to Rain. Do you think he has that strength in Heart of the Swarm still?
I mean, I haven't seen much mirror matches out of him. I would assume by default, practicing on the Korean server, he must be getting ridiculous practice in the matchup. Probably better practice than Welmu, but then again, the problem for him will probably be that he's completely unfamiliar with Welmu's style. And if he doesn't know that Welmu is one of those very aggressive players that will throw a lot of very strong timings at you, he's in for a treat. If he thinks that Welmu is one of those players that will lay back and just take bases and macro, he's going to be very surprised. So I feel like Rain, if I was him, I would just try to play on 2 base, solid, scout a lot with hallucination, and then from there adapt. Kind of like the way MC did, but in the first game, he let himself get surprised by the huge attack of his opponent, and I completely disagree with the Dark Shrine that he went for as well.
I noticed here in the map vetoes that we currently have going on that a lot of people here are getting rid of Akelon very, very quickly. Akelon was not a feature in WCS Europe Season 2 and Korea Season 2, so that's why we might see a little bit less of that map now in the season finals from those 2 regions players, but we may see it from the American players.
Actually, I don't think so. I think it depends more on the matchups and races.
All right.
Some races like it.
Is it even still on the ladder? Because what I do is...
Yeah, it is.
Because I will veto maps that I'm not casting. So for the entirety of WCS Europe, I actually didn't play on Akelon because it was vetoed.
I thought you were going to say you veto maps that are not in Challenger Qualifier because you want to win them.
Dude, I'm going. Maybe one day, but it's not going to be for a long time. Okay, so we now have Rain picks first map. He picks Whirlwind, and then we have Derelict and Bel'shir left.
How do you know that?
With Welmu picking Derelict.
Oh, you're in the chat.
I'm a mind reader. There's nothing going on down here. Why aren't you in this chat?
Yeah, that's my point. I want to know the maps, what they vetoed, and I should
just leave it as a surprise. Speak to Rain. Todd, Hart, Rain.
Oh my god.
I'll leave it. Rain's like a machine as well. I kind of see Rain and innovation in kind of the same pocket of being machines. I don't think I ever saw Rain show any emotion.
Yeah, I mean, I thought you were talking more practice-wise, where both players can play a lot. And I remember Parting saying in an interview that he was very impressed by Rain's focus during his practice, because Rain he's one of those players when he's playing very, very hard and practicing for a match, he almost never checks his phone. And I can understand where parting comes from, because like if your phone like rings or vibrates and you know you have a message, you're always gonna want to check it as soon as possible. But those very dedicated players like Rain, they just ignore it until their practice is over. I know I couldn't.
That's very disciplined, man. That is
Especially
very
because I never get any calls, so when I get one, it must be pretty damn important.
Oh, that's so sad. Dude, I don't even have a mobile phone, so...
Really?
No.
You don't?
No, I just never saw the need for one, but that's a whole nother story. Let's not talk about that right now. Shush, don't. The game's on the way. Countdown began. Why did I just admit that online? Anyway.
Maybe you should go to a special barcraft.
I keep wanting to buy a smartphone, and then I go to the shop and I'm like, which do I pick? And then just don't pick any. So, bleh. Anyway, guys, game number 1 now on the way here between Rain and Welmu to see who falls out of the tournament completely. It's do or die for these guys now, as we have spawned down to the bottom left-hand corner our red Protoss, representing SKT Telecom 1, blah-de-blah-de-blah. He is Rain, and spawning to the bottom right-hand corner here as our blue Protoss, we have NRS Welmu. See if he can upset. I
like this map in PvP. Like there is a few maps that kind of bother me, and that are, I feel, a little bit more random than others. But on Whirlwind, although it's 4-players map and your opponent can start anywhere, you can keep that in mind, and it's less likely that your opponent will scout you first. Also, like just 1 chance out of 3, or usually out of 2, because you don't see scout cross. So. I mean, as much as there is lots of possibilities, this is also a map where taking an expand will be a little bit easier than on some other maps. And I think that's a very cool feature to have some maps like this. So I'm a big fan of Whirlwind in Protoss versus Protoss, and I can't wait to see what these guys do. Welmu, the only one who scouts, actually.
Yep.
This is a good indicator that he might be aggressive, don't you think?
You think?
Yeah, if you want to know where your opponent is this early.
Guess, yeah.
Like, it's not to play super passive.
Yeah, it gives you the opportunity to just alter your build slightly for a more aggressive stance. So, and you know, scouting clockwise, very, very common on this map. So he will see Rain first by very, very nice look here for Welmu. So Rain, meanwhile, he's going to see this probe, and unfortunately for him, you could kind of guess that, a lot of people... But a lot of people scout clockwise.
I fail every single time. Well, actually, that's a good point. Maybe I will try scouting. I will try, when this happens, I will try scouting counterclockwise.
Dude,
maybe.
I promise you, so many more people scout clockwise than anti-clockwise. But whatever.
And then one day I'll play like Rain in WCS Grand Finals.
Yeah.
And I scout counterclockwise.
It all came down to this.
He watched these VODs like, oh yeah, I just got to win versus Todd and Whirlwind.
Oh god. I've ruined everything.
Oh wow, the probe of Rain taking quite some damage. He's gonna try. Oh, he gets the kill.
Oh.
This was on purpose. He let his probe get this low on hit points. He wanted to bait Welmu into staying there and trying to get a kill. He wanted to make it look like he was being sloppy, but he was not. He's Rain.
Very nicely done by Rain. And hey, look, Rain scout clockwise as well. What a surprise. Everyone scouts clockwise on this map. I'm just going to scout anti-clockwise for the hell of it next time I'm playing on this map. Oh, Stargate. Go, Todd. Stargate.
Not just target, like very fast target.
Yeah.
And I like that he's chrono boosting out a stalker with this as well, because I mean, if Rain had scouted him first now, he would have seen it. But since he hasn't, he's not going to see the Stargate for sure. He's just going to see a stalker able to deny his probe from entering. But actually, the mothership core is going to go for his scout as well. This is what I was talking about. Rain, he wants to go for a solid style from there. He does not want to gamble.
Yeah.
He wants to make sure that he scouts his opponent. He has to be careful with the mothership core. If the stalker pulls back, it might start doing a lot of damage. And Stargate for both players. But I have to say, Welmu, he has a huge advantage. His target is so much earlier. Depending on how much gas he saves for this, especially since he didn't make mothership core. And I think he's playing the opponent right now. He knows that Rain is not this aggressive player. So to punish him, he's going to just basically make the minimum amount of units to be able to hold, which is 2 stalkers, no mothership core. And he goes for the quick Stargate, an Oracle, and then 2 extra gateways. But Rain is going to be able to get the scout.
Yep, and he doesn't see the Stargate as well as the Oracle.
There is nothing to attack the mothership core here. He's going to get a lot of kills.
Ugh. Yeah, where are the stalkers? They're all the way in the middle of the map. This is not so good here. He needs to like start a Phoenix or something, but he's going to go for the second Oracle.
The Oracle came out and Welmu Probably thinking, why can't I attack here with this one? But 4 kills already. Might get a 5th.
And he could recall out if he wanted to.
Yeah, he could just even time warp the mineral line. Like, he would slow down the mining even more. I'm surprised. I would have gone for the time warp, I think.
And this bought Rain a lot of power in terms of getting the Phoenix out early as well, after seeing the Stargate, to deny this first Oracle. And Welmu here, setting up a pylon at the front to go for some aggression as well.
Yeah, and this is the problem. Welmu, he didn't know what he was up against. He assumed that Rain wouldn't be going for a Stargate, so he went for the Oracle. Oh, the Oracle's gonna get caught!
Oh,
this is bad.
Yeah.
This is looking really, really bad right now for Welmu. If Welmu had known that he was targeting a Stargate, he would have only made Phoenixes. And he would have been very, very far ahead.
And he made the second Oracle as well, so unless this can somehow try and sneak in and do damage, it's always going to die, though. These Phoenix are here, ready, waiting. Yeah,
Rain, he knew about this possibility. I'm a little bit surprised that he was actually standing there. And I think from there, Rain goes for a counterattack and finishes the game. Because he's about to get a 4th Phoenix. Welmu has 0 Phoenixes, and if you look at the army supply, it's 20 to 10 right now. So Rain is proxying pylons, and I think if he just goes for the kill from there, he takes a very easy first win.
Oh, and I think Rain just barely saw that probe trying to sneak down to maybe try and go for an expansion, but that's not going to be doable at all here for Welmu. He's going to be pretty hard-pressed to do much of anything whilst Rain is setting up aggressive stance. This is going to be so hard for Welmu.
Yeah, I think he wants to expo behind this and maybe go into a Dark Shrine, since he already has a proxy pylon, which was found. Everything's going wrong for Welmu, and everything's going so right for Rain in this game.
This certainly is a catastrophe here for Welmu, and he's now got to hold himself against all of this. He has to hold solidly. If he takes any more damage, he is super down and out, but even still, very difficult. Robo facility going down behind this for Rain. And he has this contain and maybe even pressure set up.
The sentries, he needs to force fill now. The Phoenixes might try to go for the lift.
Yeah, they may do.
And I think Welmu, if he makes one mistake here, he's going to be vanquished. Your word.
Yeah, vanquished. It's true. These sentries, they die so quickly to those Phoenix once they pick them up. So he has to be really, really careful right now.
Rain could actually fly in there, kill the 2 sentries, lose like 2 or 3 Phoenixes, but then go up the ramp and finish the game, possibly. But the Stalker count of Welmu is actually quite decent. If he warps in some Zealots with this in support, he could actually hold Rain. I like his choice here. He goes for the lockdown, and he... Oh, the sentries.
Yeah, you have to be careful there. But I like what he's doing as well off the back of this. He had the option to either get fully aggressive or play it safe, do a little bit of damage, and keep his opponent contained with that expansion. And I think that's a pretty good choice here for Rain. Not gambling anything, just making sure that he can keep himself nice and steady behind this.
Yeah. Rain, he's going for Immortals. He knows that he's going to start leaving now. I'm surprised he doesn't force fill more the ramp. He could force fill it like 4 times to make sure Blink needs to be finished before Welmu could move out. But look at the production tab. Blink is 30 seconds from finishing, and Rain is pulling back. So it's not a perfect pullback time, but it's pretty close to perfect. And Rain, having the economic lead right now, he's just going to remove Mass Immortals and secure the win, I think, from there.
And the Phoenix, they're on their way in again here, but the Stalkers will push them back as well. Welmu does have a lot of Stalkers. He has 15 out right now, so dividing those up quite nicely to push away the aggression. But there's nothing he can do in terms of punishing this expansion, I feel. So I think he has to kind of just consolidate his losses and try and expand himself, but he's going to be so far behind.
Oh man, it's Welmu. He's going to go for it. He's leaving Stalkers inside of his main for as long as possible, but he's going to have to move out with those.
Can this even work, though?
I mean, there is a very little chance, but he has good enough saturation to produce continuously on 3 gateways. So he's gone up to 19 Stalkers against only 6 Stalkers. So I guess he's going to have a very short timing window during which this can work.
All right, well, he's still got a lot of Stalkers at home. Hallucinated Phoenix goes in and sees how many Stalkers are still at home. So Rain must be feeling quite safe back at his natural with an extra Void Ray, Photon Overcharge, anything you would actually like here to actually push this army back. Welmu pokes forward.
Oh, the Void Ray! He's out of position.
It is. Not too bad blinks there from Welmu. Gets some damage done, but not a whole lot. And Rain here, he's just going to force the situation. He's going to go for the lift.
He's actually going to go for the fight.
Yeah, it seems like he just wants to push this away straight away, knowing that he has a fantastic army. 51 army supply to 32, killing off Stalker after Stalker. Not too bad blinks from Welmu at the end, but the Guardian shield goes up, and that's going to soak up a lot of damage. The Void Ray does die off, but there you go. GG, those 3 Immortals absolutely massacring Welmu there.
And Welmu was missing so many of his Stalkers. He kept those in the main for such a long time. I think when he moved out with the first pack of Stalkers, he should have taken everything. And then if the Phoenixes are back in his base, lifting stuff and killing it. That means the Phoenixes won't be back at home for Rain helping to defend. And also they might run out of energy if they kill too many probes. So I disagree with the way he handled this, and I think he should have gone with his entire army. Then he would have had a shot. Now he really didn't have any chance. Like, I can't even believe Rain went for the kill here. You're not supposed to move out. But like, he lost almost nothing.
He felt so confident. What did Welmu have to compete with that army? I mean, of course, force fields could have caused him a lot of hindrance, but still, it's such a strong army. So, anyway, that means Mr. Welmu is one game away from being eliminated from the entire tournament. It could be a very, very short run for him here. That being said, still goes away with 5,000 if he loses, which is pretty good for a day's work.
Yeah, definitely.
But he doesn't want to go out.
I know casters do well as well, but not that well.
I'll leave that to anybody's speculation. But anyway, what do we have going on? We have MC and Jaedong. I think they may still be in their first game.
Yeah.
So that's not going as quickly as this one.
Looks like a pretty good game.
Looks
of
like
course, it's MC and Jaedong.
It's MC and Jaedong. Duh. Well, we have Welmu and Rain. Rain currently in Gold League on European server. Pretty good. Pretty good.
Only you would mention that.
I mean...
What league are you?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm Masters.
Really?
Yeah. On 3
1v1?
separate accounts.
1v1?
Hey?
1v1?
1v1? No, I'll refrain from that, thanks. It'll be fine. I saw who you'd beaten recently and I was like, maybe I won't play you. So anyway, guys, let's jump into game number 2 as we have our Finnish player on the verge of utter destruction. And he's going to face off against this guy, representing Korea. And SK Telecom T1, he goes by the name of Rain. And spawn down to the bottom left-hand corner, Blue Protoss. Needs to win this to keep himself in it. He is NRS Welmu.
The Phenom.
The Finnish Phenom. There's like things flying past him and everything. It's like...
He's like a martial artist.
He
suddenly.
like puts his like sunglasses on, crosses his arms. Can you imagine Welmu doing this?
No.
And he's like, it's Welmu time. And he's like...
It's Welmu time.
I can't do the Finnish accent. He's like... oh, it's so good.
All right, Derelict. I have to say I'm a lot less familiar with this map because I used to veto it for a long time. But having to cast some games on it and now this map being in tournaments as well, I started playing it a little bit more. I'm
Good
still
man.
quite inexperienced on it with PvP, but the ramp and the surroundings of the first small ramp, it's similar to Bel'shir Vestige, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So that's one important thing to note about this map that makes blink openers a lot weaker.
Right.
I guess as a standard kind of play. If you go for blink on this map, I feel like as an all-in it will be a lot better. Or unless you know for a fact that your opponent is going for his target. Expansion can work, but overall it's going to be pretty hard, especially nowadays. You know, the expansion used to be pretty good against some sort of builds, but now I feel like everybody tries to counter it to the letter, so it goes a lot worse when that happens as well.
And, well, we just have those 7 scores finishing up at almost exactly the same time once they get going. And Rain here is going to scout out his natural, and maybe even just go for a full scout, but it looks like it's just the natural for now. It's always so important here. Again, I don't think Rain knows too much about Welmu outside of maybe watching some of the games from WCS. And that's probably it, if he were to research into his opponent here. Because there was a lot of PvP there, so
yeah,
that's probably his best bet.
Rain did a very quick 3+3 on his gases. He actually only had 11 probes on minerals, so something special here maybe out of him.
And Welmu, he has that Twilight Council going down. Now this could be spotted very early here by Rain, as there's no units out to deny. So Rain's going to get full scout off. Do you think Welmu goes for the Dark Shrine even regardless of this? Oh, he didn't spot it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
He had to leave not to get killed by the Mothership Core here. And this is interesting situation here. Welmu, as I said, he needs to surprise his opponent if he wants to be able to take the win in this series, in my opinion. It's really hard to play a straight-up game against Rain.
I think you're right about that. And the Dark Shrine is actually going to go down here for Welmu, so that could be the surprise that we're looking for. Meanwhile, Rain, with the Twilight Council option that he's gone for, he's not going to have detection for a little while, unless he throws down the Robo right now, but it's just going to be that second gateway. It would have been a bit crazy for him to add on the Robo super quick.
Rain, what does he go for? Blink?
No, it's Dark Shrine as well. Oh, dear me. It's one of these games. Uh-oh. Well, get ready.
Welmu's got a probe out on the map. This is only two. Yeah, he's going for the same build as he went for against MC in what map was it? Bel'shir.
Bel'shir, where he went for the Dark Shrine. Yeah. And it's pylons on either side of the map. And again, this is just going to get a bit really weird here. So Rain now, he's going to set himself up with extra pylons as close as possible. Meanwhile, Rain, with a Stalker at the very, very front, could try and spot this. But both players are getting the robo facilities at the same time as well. So, well, with Welmu's a little bit earlier. So he should be able to spot these. Okay, this is just going to get a bit strange, as we said before. Oh, wow, and Welmu also going for the Nexus. So both players technically will have all the tools in place to try and deny this. If Welmu actually wanted to warp in some Dark Templar, after especially seeing the timing of the Robo, he could try and do some damage. And one Dark Templar is now going to move in. So I don't think one Dark Templar is going to be enough if he wants to try and focus down the Robo, but it looks like he may end up going for that. Chrono Boost on the Robo facility, realizing that there's something up. And is he just going to go for straight for this? No, he's not. He's going to go for the probes. Oh, there's only one pylon. He can actually kill that off with these two Dark Templar. Oh, this is going to be very, very close here. That overall, the Observer, it doesn't finish. It doesn't finish in time. And he needs to get another pylon down. But Welmu now, with a position where he can control this game entirely. Meanwhile, the Dark Templars have been pushed back in the main for Welmu. There's no, unless he makes a lot of pylons around this, but he doesn't have any money to make any. And there you go, GG. And there you go. So that's 1-1, guys. And who would have guessed it? But someone's not here. He didn't expect the game to finish quite that quickly. So, whee! Anyway, so Todd will be back in just a little bit, one would assume. And when he's back, it's going to be fantastic. But that means it's now 1-1 here, with Welmu catching his opponent off guard a little bit. And if I were to take Todd's role here, he would say something to the effect of, I told you that Rain would... no, this is the worst French accent ever. But he would have told us that this was Welmu's best chance to beat Rain here, catching him off guard a little bit and making things work. So our third map will be Bel'shir Vestige. These PvPs going thick and fast, as Welmu and Rain now, both players one game away from either being eliminated or staying alive. And then the winner of this will have to face against the loser of MC versus Jaedong. So if Welmu were to win, there is certainly a possibility he would have to face MC again. Of course, there is always the possibility of Jaedong as well. So this is Group A, guys, of the WCS Season 2 Finals. Big thank you for joining us here at the B stream with myself, Kyle Aris, and the countdown's begun for game number 3. Awesome stuff. So, without further ado, guys, we shall jump in just a little second. It's going to be awesome. Hashtag WCS. Hashtag this man to behave. I was always told to behave during WCS Europe Season 2. But now it's this guy's turn to behave because he's just not here. All right. He's going to kill me for emphasizing this so much. Okay, let's jump into game number 3 to see what we have. As we have, spawning up to the top left-hand corner, our blue Protoss representing NRS and Finland. Here's Welmu, tying things up very, very nicely. I'm solo casting and observing. It brings back so many memories of being in my bedroom. And we do have spawning down to the bottom right-hand corner our red Protoss, representing SKTT1. And Korea, we have Rain. Okay, so from the couple of PvPs that we've already seen, it's quite clear that none of these players even are willing to take a risk of going for an extremely early gateway. Something that we saw MC doing quite a lot in WCS Europe Season 2 when he had to compete with a ton of these Protoss players. Welmu mixed it in maybe once or twice, but not too much. So I'm anticipating normal gateway timings once again from these two guys. And Bel'shir Vestige is one of those maps that does lend itself very nicely, once again, to that nice big macro game in PvP. It's a very, very cool map, I would say, just in general, with the ability to be able to actually control these 2 choke points here towards your natural. And even if you do take your third, there is always good positions to actually force field things off in a PvP, up until the point, of course, where now the metagame has stabilized, where you have a lot of Archons mixed in. I would say at a relatively early pace in comparison to what we saw in the past. So, double guesses for either player here, for Welmu, and for Rain as well, as we have those gateways finishing up in a second. I can hear a rumbling. Hello.
Sorry.
Sorry. How are you doing, Todd?
Better.
You better? You better? Okay, cool stuff.
So I guess something happens.
Okay, here's what happened.
His Dark Templars were better.
I'll go with that, yeah. But the long story short of that, though, is that the Dark Templars, they killed off a pylon that was powering the robo facility just before the observer
Lord.
popped. So, yeah. He only had 1 pylon powering everything.
Worst feeling in the world.
Yeah.
The famous Arthos is pylon.
Yeah.
He doesn't just curse players, he also makes building get unpowered faster.
He also makes inefficient building placement. Good job, Arthos' car. But, yeah, that's what happened. That's what happened. And now we're here in game number 3. It's a pleasure to have you back, Todd.
Okay, sentry first and double gates.
Sick casting. Keep going.
Yeah, what build is this?
Isn't it the Rain build?
No, it's the Oz build.
The Oz build, yeah.
Sentry first
You're
and
right.
then double stalker. But that again is Rain. And also, you're supposed to have 16 mineral probes when you do this. So Rain, he wanted to make his mothership core faster. So I guess you're right. This is actually the Rain build.
The Rain build. It's a little bit of a deviation.
Yeah, he did his own version with the mothership core faster. And I think he's going to send it completely across the map, try to go behind the expansion to see if it's there, and then fly into the main to get the scouts, and he could recall after that. This is interesting, I have to say. This is the first time that I've seen the Oz builds played this well. I guess you can now call it the Rain build. Whoa, he's actually coming back with his mothership core. What's the point of getting it so fast if you're going to come back? He might go into an expansion behind this, but...
I guess he wanted to use it to try and scout our proxy up there, but...
Oh, he went for a force pylon. So maybe double sentry? Yeah, double sentry behind this, okay.
Ooh, that Stalker could have been sealed in there for just a second, but Rain didn't react as quickly as could have done. But regardless of that, Welmu now behind this, getting his robo facility, extra gateway, double extra sentries on the way for Rain.
And Rain's going to make a Nexus.
Yeah, very defensive play here by Rain. In
Well,
terms of...
for a change.
Yeah.
Oh, actually he came back. I think he realized there might be some aggression headed his way, so he's going to throw down the third gate before.
Oh.
And he spots the aggression, but one of his Stalker will die. Will it?
I think it just barely gets away. That time warp. It got a lot of damage done, but those 3 sentries should be able to hold this off.
And Rain, he needs to send a hallucination across the map to know exactly what he's up against right now, but he sneaked the probe out.
He seals those sentries in, Stalkers in. That was a nice force field, but at the same time, takes a little bit of damage from the ship core and brings that Stalker to a very nice location for Welmu. Oh, and traps a few more sentries in. Zealot, whatever they're called. Stalkers.
The last unit.
Jesus. That was terrible.
Oh, the mothership core. Oh, it was very important to get the mothership core, but I don't think he's going to be able to get that last Stalker, but Rain has killed a lot here.
All of the units have been named.
Oh, and Welmu is not slowing down. There's no force field.
Huh. Yeah, this is... I mean, Rain's trying to warp in a sentry here to actually try and buy himself some time.
The probes at the expansion of Rain basically greet and meet each other. The pylon on top of the Nexus.
He even tried to block it, but was unsuccessful.
Oh, wow, that's really smart. I didn't even think of that. Blocking the Nexus with a pylon here?
Yeah, man. It's cool.
We did it against Zergs, we did it sometimes against Terran, and now even in PvP, the famous pylon block. Oh, Rain! He's warping in Stalkers across the map to try and get a cancel on that Nexus, I think, or maybe to attack. But Welmu is gonna meet those. Again, he saw the probe headed for his natural and then his main, so he knows there's a pylon here. This is the same mistake that we've seen Welmu do before.
If he were to divide and conquer, he could actually do quite a lot of damage, and he is getting some Stalkers here. One does go down for both players, but he could get an extra 2, and does get them. That sentry, dies off as well, with the Zealot now taking a lot of damage. We'll kill that off.
And that was really bad by Rain. He obviously wanted to try to counterattack against two
Ooh.
bases, but oh wow, he's
False
cut the
signals.
retreat a little bit.
Time warp so important here. He needs to slow all of this down, but he does lose his mothership core as well. Rain right now with the counter aggression doing pretty well here.
Yeah.
I think he might have to pull probes to deal with this.
Oh, Welmu, he has 3 probes stuck outside of his main here. And with the Immortal coming, Rain should be careful. He spots the Robo now, he sees it's being chrono boosted, so he's just gonna have to sentry, to force field, and then he can just kill the natural and the probes there.
Oh, he seals out one of the Stalkers. Not too bad there from Rain. Has to pull back just a little bit to make sure his Stalkers survive whilst he kills off one.
Yeah, I don't know why Welmu is even trying to go down the ramp. This is Rain. He has sentries with lots of energy. What do you expect?
Well, he tries again, and yeah, you expect that, man. He's not getting out of there anytime soon. Even Zealot's coming along now for Rain as well, just to make this forward position a little stronger. And behind this, he's getting his Nexus as well. It's going to be very hard for him to break out of this.
Oh my god,
Rain's doing this perfectly.
Yeah. And only one force field left behind this, but after he uses the next one, he's gonna have a new one on that one sentry that has 91 energy. Actually, he needs to be careful if he lets the Immortal down.
The units lost is so good here.
He's going up the ramp.
He's just going to go straight for it. That's a lot of
Can't believe it.
Actually being able to tank here against all of this. And the Immortal for him, Welmu was focusing down on these Stalkers, so getting a maximum amount of damage actually done there for him. But still, Rain pushing this back, 60 supply to 34. It's 1-1 in this series. If Rain beats Welmu here, then Welmu is down and out. He is gone.
I can't believe this even worked. He was not supposed to go up the ramp here, but with those Zealots tanking and the good positioning, he used the time warp and GG.
There you go. GG, a very good position there by Rain, and he advances on to the losers consolation finals here.
Which will be played tomorrow.
Which will be played tomorrow.
I can't believe he moved up the ramp. This is sick. Never would I have, like, out of 100 games here, never would I have moved up the ramp.
Yeah.
Like, he saw the amount of units, he knew there was not any sentry for force field, and he knew he had the time to go up, to place his Zealots in position to tank for the Stalkers behind, to do enough damage, to basically take out this army. Like, it all comes down to the Zealot. I felt like his army was very Stalker heavy as well, and that Immortal was going to be the happiest Immortal ever. But in the end, he made it work, and I'm really shocked. It went this way, like the attack and everything. Like, I think there is so few players that would have attacked there up the ramp. He could just kill the expansion, you know. He had such a nice lead.
Yeah.
But Rain, from his perspective, that was not enough. He's like, I'm going to finish you because I can.
I mean, despite game number 2, Rain in that series actually looked really, really confident, I think. Despite, game number 2, he tripped and kind of fell around. He had one pylon powering buildings. Blah, it kind of happens sometimes. Of course, precautions can be taken, and you kind of have more than one pylon. But still, he looked good in that series. He really did. And I think he earns himself a good position in that losers consolation finals tomorrow. So.
If he has to play Jaedong again, though, he lost 2-0 to Jaedong.
Yeah.
It would be such an insane match, I think, to have.
If I quickly look up.
Let's check if MC won.
Yeah. If you could check the results of that quickly.
I think Jaedong is 1-0.
Yeah?
Yep, he is 1-0. And next game on Whirlwind. Yeah. Second game on Whirlwind.
So Jaedong's 1-0 up. Wow.
Yeah, tune in to the A stream if you haven't yet. MC versus Jaedong is happening right now, and you do not want to miss that. And actually, considering the build order I'm seeing right now, there's going to be some action. Lots of gateways went down by MC.
The thing is that for Rain, going up against Jaedong, a lot of Rain's practice for the past couple of weeks has been heavily focused on PVT.
Yeah.
Heavily focused on that. So unfortunately for him, he doesn't get to go into what I would consider to be his strongest matchup right now in this group stage. So there is the potential that if he has to go up against MC, I think he would, that would be a very interesting PvP. I would love to see that Rain versus MC.
I feel like since the finals of WCS Korea, he's had time to maybe practice his other matchups if he wanted to as well.
Yeah.
Because like prior to that, he was already considered one of the best Protoss versus Terran. And then, even though he lost the finals, I think he practiced a lot versus Terran prior to it. So he probably didn't think, oh, wow, I'm really bad versus Terran. It's time to practice a lot more. He probably said, well, you know, like stuff can happen, and I didn't play that well in this match. And he might have focused as well on other matches. Especially his PvP is rumored to be his biggest weakness. So if Jaedong takes out MC here, and MC has to play Rain for the qualification, I could see Rain losing to MC.
Yeah. He could do. He could lose to either of these players. It's going to be a hard road for Rain. Now a lot of us commentators having predicted that Rain could do really well. He might actually fall out in the first
commentator's
rounds.
curse.
Commentator's curse, man. We are rubbish at this. But anyway, all right. So that concludes our games for today from Group A. In just a little bit, we'll have our first game from Group B. I'm going to use a tasteless line. We're a piggyback broadcast, guys, kind of, which. So we have to wait basically for the results on the A stream to conclude, I think, and then we'll get into our matches in Group B.
Tell the people what great game we're going to be casting.
Oh, it's a good one. We are going to be casting Pult versus First. I am super excited for this because First's PVT, ever since the middle of WCS Korea last season, was so good. So Pult versus First is going to be an awesome one. Tune in just a little bit, guys. Stick around for some awesome StarCraft action.